Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining me. My name is Abby, and today we're going to be doing a grounding flow. It's nice to have a good open space around you to move, maybe your mat, maybe a carpet that's not too thick. And then we're going to have the option to have a folded blanket, a rolled blanket underneath us at Shavasana. So if you'd like to have a blanket nearby, go ahead and grab one. Blocks or anything else that you like to use to support your practice. We'll meet on the mat. Taking a moment to settle in to the space. Maybe you move around a little bit, move your body so that your sits bones are connecting to the floor. Maybe if you sit in this cross position a lot, maybe you take a minute to switch the cross of your legs and try out a different seat. And then when you've settled in, allowing your eyes to soften to a point on the floor in front of you. Maybe they come all the way to a close. Taking a moment to notice any sounds that are around us. Noticing how the mat feels where we connect with it. Noticing the way the ground is rising up to support us. Taking a moment for a gentle body scan, starting at the top of the head, going down through the forehead, the eyebrows, the eyes, the nose, the cheeks, the mouth, the jaw, coming around the back of the head, the ears, the front of the neck, the back of the neck, the tops of the shoulders, down through the back, shoulders, spine, hips, from the shoulders down the arms, through the elbows, wrists, hands, fingertips, through the front of the torso, the chest, the abdomen, the hips, through the thighs, the knees, the calves, the ankles, the feet, the toes. Taking a moment to notice if you're holding any tension. And if you are, maybe send your breath to that location. Throughout this practice, we'll be checking in. Am I holding? And am I breathing? Can I release my shoulders away from my ears a little bit more? Maybe one hand comes onto your torso, one hand comes onto your chest. Take a deep breath in. Feel the way it expands in your body. Sensing how each exhale sends energy all the way to your extremities. Seeing if we can make each inhale a little longer and each exhale a little longer. And then slowly allowing the eyes to flutter back open into the space. Maybe your eyes stay softened on the ground for a little bit. Maybe they open all the way up and allow the light to come in. Beautiful, you guys. Take a large inhale in. We're going to sweep the hands up over our heads. Deep breath in. Beautiful. And we're going to rotate to the left. Right hand comes to the top of the left knee. Left hand plants behind, sitting up straight and tall through the top of the head. Each inhale draws us up through the top of the head. Each exhale draws us deeper into the twist. Maybe your gaze follows the back shoulder. Inhaling back to center. Inhaling, sweeping the arms up and over. And exhale, twisting to the right. Left hand to right knee. Checking in and noticing if this side is any different than the other side. Inhaling back to center. We're going to bring our legs out in front of us, sending our feet in front for a seated forward fold. Beautiful. It's okay. It's great to have a large bend in the knees here. If it feels comfortable, our aim is going to be to hinge from the hips. And we're not going to fold over and round our back. We're going to be straight through the top of the head, folding forward with our next exhale. So inhale, stretching up. Exhale, folding forward. The feet don't have to be flexed or pointed. They can be just kind of a neutral flex, not a hard flex. Also, if it feels comfortable, you can grab that blanket that we talked about, roll it up, put it under your knees. Folding in. Two more breaths here. Inhaling up. Go ahead and draw your right knee up to your chest. Give it a little hug. Maybe rock back and forth a little bit on your hips. Just kind of get settled in to having your knee up. And then if your body is asking for a little bit more, bring your right foot to cross over the top of your left thigh. Again, just taking a moment to settle in. This is a beautiful place to be. You can stay right here, or if your body's asking for a little bit more, hook the top of your right knee with your left elbow. Right hand plants behind. Again, each inhale is drawing us up, and each exhale is drawing us deeper into the twist. Exhaling back to center. Keep your right knee where it is. Maybe even walk your foot out a little bit more to the side. We're going to pull our left foot up and bring it underneath the right. You're getting a kind of a stacked knee. Beautiful. Take a moment to get there. Awesome. And then once you're here and you've moved around and you've found the pose, since the right knee is on top, we're going to put our right elbow underneath our left. And the way that we do this bind is that you can either stay here with both hands together, or you can flip the palms and have them facing outward and still hooked. Taking a minute to breathe here. We're going to add a little bit of movement to this pose, beginning with inhaling, tipping up very gently to the ceiling, as much as it's comfortable, and then exhaling, rounding through the back. Inhaling up, exhaling, rounding. Go ahead and move through 2 more of these at your own pace. And then settle back into stillness. Again, checking in with the shoulders. Are they rising up towards the ears? Can I drop them down a little bit more? Beautiful. And release. Shake out your arms a little bit. Give them a little wiggle. Maybe shake out your shoulders. Do a little roll. Bring your legs back out in front of you again. Inhaling, stretching up from the waist. We're going to forward fold. Taking a moment to notice if there's a change in either side of your body. Two more breaths here. Inhaling up. This time we're going to draw our left knee into our chest. It can be to the side, wherever it's comfortable. Give it a little hug. Again, just take a minute to settle in to having this knee up. And then if your body's asking for that bit, pull the left foot over top of the right. Again, just take a minute to settle in here, making sure that both of our sits bones are still on the ground. We're still rising up through the top of the head. Shoulders are dropping away from the ears. And then if your body is asking for it, hook that right arm around your left knee and plant the left hand behind you for a twist. Each inhale guides you up. Each exhale guides you deeper. Inhaling back to center. Keep your knee where it is. We're going to draw the left foot in, and we're just going to take a minute to work both of these knees and our legs so that the knees are stacked on top of each other like some little pancakes. Take a minute to get to where it feels right. Beautiful. And then when your legs are all settled, the left knee is on top, so we're going to bring the left elbow underneath the right. And you can stay with the palms facing, or you can flip the palms and do an added twist. Wherever your body needs to be. Taking a moment to breathe here. While we're in this pose, checking in, am I holding and am I breathing? We're going to start to add some movement to this pose. Inhaling, tipping the elbows up slightly. And exhaling, rounding through the back. Inhaling up. Exhaling, rounding. When we're going up, the focus is on stretching up through the top of the head, a slight tip. And when we're coming forward, we're rounding, we're compressing, opening through the back. Go ahead and move through 2 more of those at the pace of your own breath. And always feel free to stay in one of these positions a little longer if it just feels so right in your body and you just want to sit there a little longer. Feel free to just stay in that place and soak it up. and then settling back into stillness. Can I drop my shoulders away from my ears a little bit more? Exhale, release the arms, shake them out. Maybe do a little wave with your shoulders. Beautiful. Unwind the legs. Bring them out in front of you and place your palms behind you on the floor. We're going to make our knees bend, feet planted on the floor, and we're just going to windshield wiper our feet for a second. Just back and forth. This can be as dynamic or as minimized as you need. If your body's asking for really dynamic, just go really big, tipping on your hips. And it can be anywhere in between. Feet together, feet apart. And then settling back into stillness. Go ahead and bring your left leg in front of you, parallel to the front of the mat. And we're going to bring our right leg to the side of the mat, parallel with the short edge. Take a minute to settle in. We're gonna fold over the front leg. So taking a moment, getting the space you need. Left leg is parallel with the long edge of the mat. Right shin is parallel with the short edge, making a kind of 50-50 or a figure four. Inhaling, stretching up. Exhaling, folding forward as far as your body is asking. We're coming straight forward over the top of the leg, hinging from the hip, imagining a straight line from your hips all the way through the crown of the head. Coming as low or staying as high as your body needs. Inhale, rising up. We're going to switch the legs, so bring your right foot around. Now the right leg is going to be parallel to the front of the mat. Left shin is going to be parallel to the short edge of the mat. Take a moment to settle in. Beautiful. And then when you're ready, walking our hands forward and folding. You may feel your body wanting to twist to the side to go over your knee, and that's all right. If you can gently just guide it back a little more center. Inhale, rising up. Beautiful, you guys. Go ahead and bring your knees together, feet together. We're gonna work towards moving into tabletop. So knees underneath the hips, hands underneath the shoulders. Taking a minute to arrive. Thinking about maintaining a neutral spine. Beautiful. And once you're here, we're going to do some gentle cat-cows. Inhale, tipping the nose up. Exhale, rounding the back. This is our second variation of a cat-cow. Inhale, tipping up. Head goes up, chin goes up. Exhale, rounding. We're gonna add a little bit more movement into this. Inhale, tip the chin up and the hips up. And with our next exhale, we're gonna round through the back and send our hips to our feet for child's pose. And just allow yourself to take a moment here, checking in with our alignment, making sure our toes are touching, knees can be wide or together. Maybe you take a moment and rock out your head back and forth on the mat, massaging your forehead. Inhale, coming all the way back to tabletop, going into cow. Chin is up. And exhale, round through the back, sending your hips to your heels, child's pose. We're going to do 2 rounds of that with our breath, so it'll be a little bit more quickly. It'll be a little faster. Inhale, coming up into cow. Exhaling, rounding and sending our hips back to our toes. Inhaling up. Exhaling, rounding and sending our hips back. Go ahead and move through 2 more of those at the pace of your own breath. We're going to meet back in child's pose. Beautiful. Come back into tabletop position. We're going to make sure that our knees are underneath our hips again. We're going to go ahead and tip your toes under, bring your toes underneath so that you're up on them a little bit, tucking the toes. We're going to play with a hover here. So engaging the core, neutral spine. With our next inhale, we're going to rise and hover our knees off the floor. Inhale, rising up. Exhale, release. Beautiful. One more time. Inhale up. Checking in with the shoulders. Can I drop them away from my ears? Exhale, release. Beautiful. This next one, you have the option to go into downward facing dog or to stay in your hover. Inhale, sending the hips up and back. You can have a generous bend in the knees. We're aiming for a straight line through the hips to the fingertips. Take a moment and walk out your feet. Exhale, release. Beautiful. Go ahead and bring your right foot through your hands. We're going to come into our low lunge. Feel free to stay with your knees right over your ankles. This is a beautiful place to be. Or if you want to come in a little bit deeper, you can walk that foot out just a little bit more. And again, if you have blocks or books nearby, you can have them under your hands for stability, or you can raise your arms up with your inhale, stretching them up to the sky. Breathe here. Exhale, send your hips back. Beautiful. We're coming into our half splits. You can walk your feet forward or keep that foot where it is. We're hinging from the hips, straight line through the spine, folding over the knee. Beautiful, you guys. Beautiful. Go ahead and bring that knee back underneath your hips. We're switching our feet, bringing your left foot up between your hands, finding where your foot wants to be. Taking a moment and settling in. And then if your body is asking for more, inhaling, arms up. Breathing in. Can I drop my shoulders away from my ears? Exhale, releasing the arms, sending the hips back, maybe walking that foot forward, hinging over the knee. Beautiful. This time leaving our left foot where it is. Well, not exactly where it is. Bring it under your knee, but not all the way back. Tuck your right toes and push up through your right leg to come into your forward fold. We're going to be in our forward fold for a minute. So finding your variation of forward fold that is the most comfortable. And when you're there, maybe you have a generous bend in the knees. Fold in. Maybe you grab your elbows here. Maybe you keep your hands planted on the floor or on a block. Maybe you shake your head, yes. Maybe you shake it no. Maybe you play with shifting your weight back and forth through your feet. seeing what that does in your body and maybe finding the middle ground. Go ahead and plant your right hand on the floor in front of you. Our right knee is going to bend and our left hand is going to twist up towards the ceiling, guiding our body. Gaze follows the hand that is up. Exhaling, coming down, planting the left hand in front of the face, left knee bends, right hand stretches up toward the ceiling. Exhale, switch them again. Right hand comes down and plants, right knee bends. Exhaling, left hand to plant in front of the nose, right hand up. And release. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold forward. Inhaling all the way up to rise, Tadasana, stretching our arms up over our heads. Deep breath in, stretching all the way from the tips of the toes to the tops of the fingertips. And exhale, release. We're going to do chair pose before we go into our balancing poses. So inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, bending the knees, sitting back. Beautiful. Your arms can be out to a T if it's helpful. They can be in at heart center, or they can be up. Checking in to make sure that we can still see our toes. Inhaling up. Exhaling, release the arms. Beautiful. We're going to do one more chair. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, sinking back. We're grounded, we're rooted. Seeing if we can feel all 4 points of our feet where they meet the mat. Inhale up. Exhale, drop the arms. Beautiful. We're going to play with picking up our right foot first. So plant your left foot firmly on the mat and start to maybe play with picking up your heel, your right heel off the mat. We're going to go into tree. Hands can be at heart center, at a T, wherever you need them to be. You can even, make friends with the wall. The wall is your friend, or any table, whatever you like to use. And then maybe you play with bringing the foot up a little bit. Maybe it goes to your calf today. Maybe today it stays at your ankle. These are all amazing places to be. Maybe you play with bringing it to your thigh today. Anywhere around the knee, as long as we're not putting it directly on the knee. Meeting our body where it is. Maybe your gaze focuses on a single point in front of you. And release. Go ahead and shake out that left ankle. Give it a little roll. Beautiful. We're going to switch sides. Grounding down through the right foot, thinking about a line coming all the way up through the crown of the head. We're going to start to play with picking up the foot off the mat or just raising the heel. And then maybe you try the calf. Taking a minute to notice, does my body need anything different on this side? Maybe fixing your gaze on a point in front of you. And exhale, release. Beautiful, you guys. Go ahead and give your shoulders a little roll. Inhaling them up, exhaling them down. And maybe you reverse the roll. You can make this one as dynamic or minimal as you want. And then settling into stillness, walking out both of your ankles after that beautiful balance. And then when we're ready, we're going to come down to the floor on our backs. Taking your time to arrive. Maybe when you're here sitting on your mat, maybe you give your knees a little hug. Go ahead and grab any props that you want to use for Shavasana. It would be nice to have them close by. And then when you're ready, lowering yourself down one vertebra at a time. Coming down to the mat. While you're here, maybe you walk your shoulders underneath your body, walking them closer to each other. Go ahead and hug your knees into your chest. Maybe you rock your hips back and forth and walk them out away from your shoulders. Deep breath in. And exhale, drop the knees to the left. Right arm extends. Maybe your gaze follows the right hand. We're checking in with our shoulders. Both shoulders are still on the mat. Inhale, drawing our knees back up to center. Take a minute. Hug them to your chest. Maybe you walk out your hips again. And then allow your next exhale to guide your knees down to the right. Left hand extends out to a T. Maybe your gaze follows the left hand. Inhaling the knees back to center. Go ahead and take any last movements your body is asking for. Maybe you do a happy baby. Maybe you stretch as far as you can from fingertips to toes. And maybe you walk that stretch out to the left for banana for a side stretch. Maybe walk it to the right. Take any last movements you need. And if you would like the heart opening, go ahead and grab your blanket. We're going to put it in a roll. And it'll go from your hips to your head. Just allowing your body to open up over it. Settling in for Shavasana. We will have a 6-minute Shavasana. I will be here to guide you out. Slowly allowing movement to come back into your fingers and your toes. Maybe you start to move your hands and your feet. Maybe you start to windshield wiper your legs back and forth. You're welcome to stay in this place for as long as you'd like, but if the rest of your day is calling you, maybe you roll onto one side, and then when you're ready, push up through the hands, coming to a seat. Thank you so much for taking the time to join me today. I look forward to seeing you